Locking it, I lifted it. You lifted it? Lifting it doesn't unlock it. Does not? Yeah. Okay. It unlocks with the handle. Does doing, and then pull. I might just not be getting far enough back. No, but it comes down to the Land Rovers. Really, they have it more in how you get it. They've done so much different. They still have that Land Rover thing. But in terms of comfort, ability, and durability, they really are hard to keep. So you've got, let's say you've got a Cherokee, you've got this old Jeep, you've got Wrangler on the other side, you've got another Cherokee over there. And what you're going to see out of
Jesse, get in. Come on.
Get in. Unless you're walking up.
Alright, I didn't hear you.
What you're going to see out of a lot of these
I thought we were going to be here a little longer.
Vehicles is you're going to see a lot of people who bounce over obstacles. Or...
Don't look, she's too young.
But the thing I found with a lot of the rover guys, especially once I started off-roading with Chris, is that they take it slow. They're not rushed most of the time. Very slow and methodical. That's what kind of turned me on to riding with them.
So when you said that the Wrangler would walk all over everything, I didn't think all Wranglers were the same. I thought
they're not. The Rubicons.
So we're talking specifically the Rubicon, but then
yes.
You're getting into the $40,000 vehicles.
45?
Yeah. So
and it's easy to get one up to almost 60,000.
So like the LR3s, 4s now. I mean, you're talking 49,000.
Yeah.
Mine was what, 44 when it was new, or something like that.
Yeah, about that.
My picture I took, they got behind.
These were what? In the 30s, back when cars ever were 30. Holy shit!
See, Steven's truck can't do this right now.
Yeehaw! Ooh, yeah, baby.
See, we're on two wheels. This is where that traction control comes in. The only thing that will really beat this traction control is diff lock.
That's insane.
Isn't it?
Off-roading like a boss.
Yeah, this is pretty sick right here. This is...
How do you rate it to where you know you're not going to be turning your truck sideways?
Practice.
Practice, watching other people do it, and more practice.
I would be taking this straight. If I were doing this, I'd go straight between the two rocks so I could have them uniform, and I would have gone up that way. Somebody put a beer can on the root, really?
Yep.
Yeah. That way has some hidden spots on it that are pretty rough.
Oh, okay.
But we know that because we've been here today, and Chris knows us really well. So, but I would consider what we're doing right now just walking right up this. You see guys struggle here.
Oh yeah, we just walked
like
right
that
up it.
Frontier brought 3
That was
axle
nothing.
shafts on this right here. What we just did.
Not the place to stop it. A propane buggy? I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Is it literally powered by propane?
Yep.
Okay. Now
So is it exhaust?
we're gonna wait.
Get up.
Now what are we doing? What are we doing?
We're making sure the other guy gets up just fine.
Sweet. And that we just did, your LR3 would come up it even smoother and easier.
Really?
Yes. I'm not kidding you at all.
The first time I came here, there was a stock LR3 that
Well,
walked
not entirely stock. He had sliders.
Yes,
That was the
sliders.
red one. Yeah, you saw that video.
stock height. He didn't have, if I remember, he didn't have any special tires on. They were
No.
almost street.
Now he just had ATs with sliders. No suspension mods, no drivetrain mods. He just had what Steve was calling bolt-ons.
Armor.
Which actually, other than a suspension lift and slightly bigger tires, that's what I have too.
Yellow.
Just bolt-on stuff. No lockers.
Is there a point in ever trying to get an HD version of the LR3?
Yeah, so you have a locking rear diff. So it's even better.
You can really crawl.
The best way I can describe it is traction control, no matter how advanced and awesome the system is only ever going to be reactive. It doesn't do anything until you start having a loss of traction. Lockers are always, if they're turned on, you're not going to lose traction, because if one wheel is off the ground, the other one is always spinning at the same speed. Whereas, like, if I lift a wheel, that wheel will start spinning, and then the traction control will go, oh, no, wait, and it'll give power to the other wheel.
Right.
And yours is the same way. Yours is just faster. Much faster. The traction control on a D3 is miles above the traction control on this.
That's the reason for all the increase of all the onboard computers.
Yes. Well, that's one reason.
But, yes.
Traction control is trying to emulate a locker without having a locker.
Yeah.
And Land Rover has gotten very good at doing it.
Yeah. Land Rover, you got to realize Land Rover started putting traction control on the rear axle of the Range Rover, the long wheelbase Range Rover Classics in 1993.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Steps ahead.
20 years ago?
Yeah. The long wheelbase Classics had air suspension in 1993.
No shit.
Yeah. Adaptive air suspension with 5 different height settings.
Yeah, they're the first to do it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Was it Land Rover that came up with traction control, or was it Cadillac?
I don't know. The Cadillac did it. I'm unfamiliar with their models.
Cadillac has come up with a huge number of advances. I think they actually came up with it as a solution to the problem of heavy engine in the front spinning tires really easily.
Cadillac came up with, or General Motors, I think it was Cadillac, but General Motors definitely came up with the whole idea of disabling cylinders at highway speeds to get better fuel economy
But that truck
in the 70s.
Yeah.
And, oh no, that's a terrible idea, that'll never work. And now practically every modern vehicle with a V8 does it.
Yep, that truck does that.
Yeah, Cadillac has, if you look into their history, has come up with a lot of really advanced shit that has caught on. Some of it is standard equipment, and some of it's standard safety equipment.
Yesterday when we did that hill climb, we did this trail with Steve, and I had to pull him up part of that.
Really?
And he had to, yeah, I had to pull him up part of that, and then we were stuck there waiting on somebody that was broken. Was that yesterday, guys?
No, that was
Thursday.
Friday.
Friday? Okay, whatever.
Friday.
Friday. We were stuck there waiting for so long for this poor guy that had broken 3 out of 4 axle shafts that Steve then started to overheat. So then he ended up having to basically be pulled up the whole hill by this dude in this little old fucking Toyota that was just awesome.
You barely.
I know.
Oh, you hit it.
Thank you.
It was just a mirror. It folds in for a reason.
I was astonished that that buggy pulled
Oh
so
no,
easily.
we're gonna crash. Oh no, Jesus Christ.
You were stalling what?
That buggy was able to pull Steve up there.
I thought that
I
winch,
couldn't pull Steve up there.
Yeah,
It started
it-
just bouncing.
and then
trying
with
to
the
pull him.
winch, it just dragged him down where that Yoda stayed planted. I underestimated how much of a traction difference there is. He had big tires.
Well, he was aired down a lot lower than I was
Yeah,
too.
because he had bead locks.
If I was down at 10 pounds, it may have done it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But I was not expecting that.
No, hell no. Me neither. A tiny little 4-cylinder engine, a truck that probably only weighs maybe 3,500 pounds.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess with the axle swap in those tires, yeah.
Yeah.
So-
And it pulled Steve up a section of the trail that mine stopped pulling and just started spinning and bouncing and couldn't pull.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do the cops use when they're coming through here?
They use a side-by-side, UTV, like a ATV, but with 2 seats that sit side by side.
Like the Kodiaks, Kubotas?
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Which I looked into getting one of those cocktails.
Oh,
I
shit.
remember this rock.
Dum, dum, dum. I struggled with this one.
I remember this little Larry trying to straddle it.
See, and that's where the LR3 would not start bouncing like that. Because its traction control is so fast, it handles itself much better on something like that. It will reduce power before it starts bouncing.
Yes. 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 Oh yes.
Yeah, that's some cool shit. Now I know why the tires are so thick.
Uh-huh.
Bingo.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
What's his name?
And he has bigger tires than I do.
And the 3 would do that.
Yeah, you would do that, no problem.
Huh.
You'd be bored. It's irritating, actually. All this stuff that's exciting for me and really exciting for Steve because he doesn't have any traction aids. You'd be like, okay, when's this gonna get tough? But it's weird with the 3s and 4s and 322s and all that stuff. Once they went to independent, the crosslink system is phenomenal and it really does a great job mimicking a solid axle. But there are some things, some terrain types that completely stymie them that you wouldn't think it would.
Like what?
Like some of the trails out at Moab with rocks sort of like this,
Uh-huh.
they have a lot of trouble with. And it doesn't seem like they should. We are probably going to whack the fuck out of the sliders because they're so heavy right now. I just did something you're never supposed to do.
What?
Hey, we didn't whack it. I put my thumb through the steering wheel.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, yeah,
I actually don't drive my car that way anymore.
I generally don't.
I'm
either.
now this way.
I generally don't, but you are never supposed to do it off road.
Break your thumb.
Yeah.
Rip that bitch right off.
Snap goes thumb.
I read Steve loaned me his off-road thing,
Oh yeah.
and so I had it for almost a year, and I read it. You know, read several times.
I want to try that.
Yeah. Beep, 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 beep.
Really?
Really.
vehicle is reversing.
Why don't they have ocean handles right there?
Woo! Yeehaw! Straddle that baby, come on. Oh!
Sliders.
Oh,
This is why we have sliders.
yes. My door would be. Oh!
That's
Yeah.
why I have sliders on the back too.
The 3 would have done it.
No, you would have drug on that. That would not have
Tony would have big
been
scratch.
pleasant.
That would have been a diarrhea trail all the way home.
So you just had some little bit diarrhea.
Well, I mean, I've talked statistics from what I've been reading, but
He's on bigger tires and a higher lift than I am.
but I don't
Anything
know.
I can do, he can do.
I don't have a lot of confidence in her because I've never pushed her.
Yeah. Well, and that's the stage I'm at now, is trying to find the limits of what I can do with this.
What
I know stuff that I can look at and say I can definitely do that. Now I'm like, I want to see if I can do that.
How would that Sport stack up against my 3? The Sport I had.
It would be very, very similar.
Different clearance angles.
Yeah. Different body overhangs. I don't know exactly, but it's very similar.
It's a shorter wheelbase.
Oh, I remember this corner. Didn't you last year?
Oh, this is sick.
Took this way too hard and they flipped over. You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Isn't it like last year Steve was saying like some defender flipped over?
No, that was Dutch John.
Oh. Never mind.
You got a couple of car cuts like that here.
That caught the door.
Oh.
I heard that. Do what?
What's the most capable Land Rover? I mean, just generically factory, just before you get into special mods.
Well, I mean, you can say the newest ones.
I
They're not proven yet.
truthfully don't know.
I don't think the new ones are proven
I mean, the new Sport is a fucking monster.
Oh, no, the new Sport is a fucking monster. Driving that thing was amazing. I felt so useless in that car.
Why?
Because it was doing everything.
It is a point of becoming autonomous almost.
Yeah, like,
Really?
Well, it is. It has an automatic mode.
I
yeah.
was talking about the bouncing.
Oh.
I should make sure I didn't slide into a tree. I think it was awesome. Except mine didn't have the massaging seats.
So then, basically, every new generation's pretty much beating the previous one.
Yeah.
Except for the B38.
Yep. Well, the newest one should have that, what, heads-up display thing?
Nah, the P38. What do you mean about the P38?
B38 versus a Series 1, 2.
Oh, way better.
Really?
Yeah. Because the P38 has all of the technology that a D2 has in the form of traction control. And it also has the air suspension that gives it a lot more articulation than a D2 can ever hope to have.
I mean, the reputation's well earned. They fall apart, but they're so cool.
It also has the sweet spot of wheelbase. There's a sweet spot in length for off-road stuff, and it seems to be that sweet spot. We'll leave that alone.
Yeah.
It seems to be that sweet spot is around the 108 to the 110 inch mark.
Now you know how I feel. Now you know. Now you know.
Oh, I'm feeling fine.
Tickled my own throat. Where did the Doom buggy go?
Huh?
That propane buggy, where did
Oh,
he
he's gone. All this stuff that we just did, he can do way faster.
go?
Took off like a bad hill.
So something like that, of course, is superior to
Yeah, but
everything
that's a custom built.
It's purpose built.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't-
that's
you
a
can't drive that
purpose built thing. That's not even worth trying to compare
home.
yourself
Oh,
to.
fine.
I had actually thought of building a four-door Blazer instead to get that 108-inch wheelbase it has,
Yep.
but there's so many
What's my
drawbacks.
115 or 113?
I think you're 116.
116?
Yeah. Or it might be slightly less than that. Actually, I think it is slightly less than that. It's slightly shorter than a four-door JK, which is 116. Which is funny, because all the Jeep guys, when the four-door JK, when the JK by itself came out, the Jeep guys were like, oh, it's so big, it's so huge. And then they announced the four-door, and they're like, oh, this thing, that's going to be awful off-road. It's going to be total junk. Now, you go to a Jeep meet, and a solid, if it's in an area where people can afford it, a solid 90% of what you see is going to be a four-door JK. Occasionally, you'll see a two-door.
Beforehand, they're
What is a JK?
Huh?
What's a JK?
The current Jeep Wrangler. That's its chassis code.
Yeah, they always went by TJ, WJ, XJ, YJ, ZJ.
Oh,
Sean, I want a copy of this.
I was gonna try to.
Upload it to mine.
oh, bounce.
Oh, my balls!
Yeah,
Oh, now your
honestly,
balls
if you've
hurt?
got an SD card,
What's wrong with your balls?
They just went,
Oh.
they V'd into themselves.
Vito.
They
yeah,
went,
you can see if that can export onto your phone. If you've got SD slot. I don't have one on mine, so I've never tried it.
hey, we got the Blair Witch back out. See, Blair Witch.
Yep.
I don't see his headlights anymore.
He's behind us. I do. He just backed off a little bit, which I appreciate.
I was getting nervous when we were going up the rock.
He was so close.
Yeah.
Remember these hills? Yeah, that's when we ran into a bunch of trucks.
Uh-huh.
And we had to back up.
We had to back up until we could find somewhere that we could pull off the side and let them go.
Yep, I remember
Because
that.
as a general rule, the smaller group yields to the larger group. Unless it's a one-way section of trail. And there are some.
All
Like,
right.
technically, this trail is a one-way trail, but people run it the wrong way all the time. This way, the way we're going, is the way you're supposed to run it.
Okay. So the Ruby against the new Sport.
In rocky stuff, like that hill climb, I'd still have to give it to the Ruby. Because it still has better approach and departure angles and better suspension articulation.
So then, it stands to what you're saying that I heard a horn.
Yep.
There he is.
Oh, he's a little smaller, so that's good.
Side by side.
Turn off your bar, bro. Thank you.
What do you got for clearance? I don't think you can go up.
I can go up.
Okay.
Or he's gonna go up. Damn it, I wanted to go up.
Was that a Kubota?
Keep going, buddy. You can do it.
He's about to catch them.
How y'all doing?
Thanks, guys.
There he is.
Disappointed. He probably said, oh, that's a Rover.
So then, what we have here in the States, the Ruby wins for the best thing all around.
Yeah.
There's nothing, because unless you get an H1.
Oh, no, Ruby will smoke an H1.
Really?
A Rover will smoke an H1.
H1s?
H1s are
special.
fantastic in mud, in sand, in snow. They're great and all that stuff. But in the rocks, and then on most trails, they're just simply too wide and too
Make my
big and
escape do
heavy.
better?
No.
Oh.
H1 does have crazy ground clearance. It actually has a form of traction control where the traction control on an H1, you hold your foot on the brake, hold one foot on the brake and put one foot on the gas, and that's its traction control.
Okay.
And its gearing will push through anything else.
Yeah.
Any resistance. But it'll stop it from free spinning. It's got portal axles which raise it up higher than. So basically, where the wheels bolt on, the center of the wheel is not where the axle goes in. The axle goes in above that. So it can raise it. The whole vehicle is so
I see
high up
lights.
off the ground.
Oh, that's crazy. I'm sitting there leaning with it.
We're going down.
Also down. This is taking great night pictures.
Sweet.
Whee!
Is that it?
After doing all those night runs,
Yes.
I definitely need to invest in lights. Now that I have the ability to have them.
I don't think Maya needs them. HIDs are bright enough.
Well, it's not so much the brightness.
Angle.
It's nice to have lights that are higher that have different angles of light.
It's like right now we would see what was over that hump where our headlights did less see.
Yeah. The lights coming in at different angles obviously lessens shadows. And a lot of shit can hide in shadows on rocky trails.
Shadow.
Like we could go over this and there could be right here a dip down, like where water's been running through and eating out the ground.
That would be really fun.
Or someone's dog or a cat.
Yeah.
Getting a little bit more out there.
Yep, a little bit. Dog just chilling on the rock.
Or you could get monkey raped.
Actually,
The only thing that I can think of off-road vehicle-wise that'll give a Rubicon a run for its money, off the top of my head, is a 70 Series Land Cruiser. Because they're available, they have long travel suspension, they have good approach and departure angles, they have locking differentials, all that stuff. But you can't get them in the United States.
I wonder about a Mercedes G-Wagon, like a full-spec G-Wagon, how that would hang
They
against
don't
those.
stack up very well against Range Rovers.
I've never really seen a proper side-by-side of the two.
I have. I saw a good comparison on YouTube where they were in like a quarry or some shit that they had created an off-road course in. And I mean, the G-Wagon did it. It did it fine, but, it mashed the exhaust on the sides. And
What's
I
what's a
forgot they
G-Wagon?
slide up.
a Mercedes SUV that in the United States is only available for like starting at, what, 175,000?
You're talking about
they're
the square
ridiculous.
ones?
Yeah.
And they
Those
built
are
a
sick.
6x6 version.
And aren't they like
Those
120,
are awesome.
130
Those are like
thousand
what,
dollars?
320,000?
They're
Yeah.
closer to 200.
Really?
Yeah, but the 6x6 version, even that out here, it's too big.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The wheelbase alone, you couldn't make half these turns.
So they're beautiful, but they wouldn't keep up with these?
No, not in the trim that they're available in the United States. I don't know about trim available in the rest of the world. If you can get it closer towards its roots, it was designed as a military vehicle for the Shah of Iran. They're awesome. Locking diffs, good ground clearance, good suspension travel. They are basically the German version of the Defender.
Don't they have like 3 center locking dips?
No, they have 3 locking diffs. Center, like this, front axle, rear axle.
No, maybe like for the 6x6.
So what
Oh,
about,
yeah.
Yeah.
They have 4 diff locks. They have the center diff lock, they have the front axle, and then both of the rear axles.
And
on
their
the 6x6.
portal axle.
And their portals.
Oh.
And they have central tire inflation, so he can just go and air down really
that's
low.
nice.
And then go, oh, I'm back to the pavement.
Plus, they have 2 fuel tanks and like almost 600 horsepower.
So what about the ISIS Hilux?
It's just a Toyota Hilux. I mean, they're
no,
awesome.
I'm just joking with the ISIS thing, but what about the Hilux?
Yeah, they're awesome, but
It
they're
looks-
not.
It looks.
I mean, they're not the be-all, end-all of four-wheel drive trucks, because in South Africa and Australia, which is kind of Hilux territory, the new version of the Ford Ranger has been taking a significant portion of their market share.
Really?
It's that good, and I really wish they would release it in the States.
Yeah.
So then, all arguments, if I wanted another truck to have as an off-road kit truck, just out there, just shop around until I find an LR3 HD, and there's nothing I'll ever need again.
No, I mean, other than armoring it up, no. Or just take Maya and put the HD diff in it.
I thought about that too.
Or just take Maya and instead of putting the electronic diff from the HD, just put ARBs in it. They make them for it. Those are air lockers.
What, just rig a button in the console?
Yeah, you would be best suited probably to having a separate air compressor just for the lockers. You could probably run it off of the stock one, but there's no sense in stressing it if it's not rated for that.
Mine are getting old, so.
But you know, you buy an ARB compressor that's designed specifically to activate their air lockers, and then you could just go compressor on, diffs are locked. You're all locked in.
What was that?
Here's a stick.
Oh.
On the roof rack.
Oh, okay.
That's a stick.
It's fabulous.
Well,
let's run Falls Dam backwards, and then we'll go back to camp. Does that work for you guys?
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's 11:45.
Yeah.
Is that good?
I'm fine.
Yeah, regardless of what's going to be anyways.
I won't go to bed. I'm gonna smoke a cigar. We still got embers. We probably won't.
Flash that.
This is where he goes, I broke everything. Then the tires fall off.
Gotta have to pee.
Where's that map at? Flag patch. Yeah. Oh yeah. We go right and then touch on stuff.
You're fine now.
How long? It is. I was
Someone comes up and says I'm paying it for it, gives me their
Yeah.
This will go on my backpack. It's not gonna be much more.
Yeah. Keep wagging it.
That's Sean's 2 miles.
Yep.
I'll just check the map. Now I need a light. Thank you. So, what if
I swear she looks like a dude. Ah.
No, it's fine. I'm not worried about the tire. If I chunk it a little bit, I chunk it.
It seems to be contacting a flat spot on it.
You alright?
Yeah,
Jump on it.
I exaggerated on purpose. It's like when I used to sneeze for the plastic surgeon every time I walked in. 2 years of, bless you, Tony, never go home.
Fine, I'll turn the goddamn radio off. Okay, I put Mountain Dew in this before we left.
Yeah.
It still tastes like it came out of the cooler 2 minutes ago. It's still
Kind
that.
of wish I had one. Because, I mean, I've got one with me all day in the shop.
Yeah. These things, I'm telling you, it is well worth $30.
There you go.
That'll be a while for me.
I hear you. Dickey Bell, the trail we just did, is probably my favorite trail that I've been on any trip so far. I love that trail.
That was fun.
It's difficult enough that it's a little bit nerve-wracking, just because the kind of, I mean, I know the disco will go right up it, no problem, but I also know that if I screw up, then it's also easy to break something, so it's a little nerve-wracking. And actually, if I really screw up, we could just roll all the way back down it, which people have done.
Really?
Yeah, actually, on that trail today, that's what that guy was talking about it. You probably didn't hear.
The Jeep.
On that trail today, that's that
The
Jeep
3,000 mile
rolled-
Jeep?
It rolled down the hill.
That was the Jeep. Okay.
Yeah, that was the trail.
And it rolled down which hill?
It didn't roll down the hill climb, the rocky part. He like pulled off to the side, let somebody go by, and rolled off the side of the trail. Apparently, like he got too close to the edge and it gave way or something. Is the probably fifth-hand story that I heard. So who knows exactly what happened? It's not high, see you.
The thing that I don't get, I mean, picking your brains and you guys answering, it's cool. I really appreciate it. The thing I don't understand is why the fuck Jeeps are so expensive. I mean,
You're buying the name, and you're buying. I mean, they're made with pretty high quality components.
the interiors are not.
No, American cars have shitty interiors. Actually, you know what? Most cars now have way too much plastic.
I agree.
I mean, even luxury cars have way too much plastic. But American cars are traditionally known for shitty interiors. So pretty much, for the most part, a Jeep is that expensive because you're buying the name. Plus, the Wrangler is made in the United States. It's made in Ohio. Always has been, according to the Jeep CEO and the Chrysler CEO, always will be. And the Fiat CEO. Because Fiat owns Jeep. Well, Fiat owns Chrysler, which Chrysler owns. Is that a motorcycle with a sidecar? No, it's that Jeep.
The Germans shut out that one. Those things are notorious for flipping over, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah, older Jeeps like that are horribly unstable.
Yeah, you got all that weight so high up.
That was one of the cool things about the Series 1 Rover, is that the Series 1 Rover has a 30-degree side tilt. You can traverse a 30-degree thing horizontally and not flip over.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they don't look it. They look like they're just as narrow tracked and top.
I know, isn't it crazy?
Yeah, the first time I saw a series just do it, I was like, what the?
What the F?
You know the Series 1 that Uwharrie has?
I've never seen it.
Never seen it? No. I did not know that Sean is the only one that actually can drive it.
Oh, really?
Nobody else can. Apparently. I did not know that. It's like a double click or something like that.
Well, yeah, you have to double clutch it.
What is double clutching?
No synchronizers and all that stuff. Basically, you have to push in the clutch to pull it out of gear and push in the clutch to put it in gear.
Okay, that's double clutching. My dad
I drove
never
an old
explained
Willys.
it.
A buddy of mine had a 46 CJ3, I think is what it was. Does that sound right, Sean?
Willys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Campanella. Look at all the traction.
Yeah, that'd be true
It's
military.
fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I forgot what trash year this year. I'm kind of sad.
think we know who to blame.
No, unfortunately, it's most people that come on these trails. Although these guys probably contribute to it a lot.
It's all Chevys.
Yeah, because I think Bantam came up with the Willys in
41. Yeah. Oh. Bantam came up with it, and then they couldn't make enough, so Willys jumped in, and they couldn't make enough, so they said, "Fuck it, give it to Ford."
Bantam
And
got
Henry
stuck
Ford
with,
said, "Yeah, bitch, let's do it."
Bantam got stuck with the trailers.
Yeah.
Which then was a good contract. They could actually do that.
Yeah.
Made quite a bit, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to keep them alive.
But Bantam designed the original Willys, the military Willys, in what, 45 days?
49.
49 days?
They hired a guy from Detroit to come help them, but it was like a handful of people in a single shed.
I thought Bantam was a toy maker.
Well, they may be. I know there's Bantam Publishing as well.
So, what is Bantam?
Bantam is the company that made the very first Jeeps.
Okay.
Yeah, they designed the original Wrangler concept that won the contest.
Yeah. For the the general purpose vehicle for the United States military for World War II.
And they basically never turned while they were demonstrating it?
No, they turned a lot. It just they didn't. The original Willys wasn't too the military Willys wasn't too terrible. To start out with. And I don't know what the fuck happened after that. Because then they got pretty prone to top heaviness. Of course, it may have just been a case of all of a sudden it was really widespread and everybody had one and nobody really knew how to drive it. They didn't realize this vehicle is more top heavy than what I'm used to driving. I have to steer it differently. I have to corner with it differently.
And also, you look at the progression of tires. Tires started getting, as tires got grippier, it was easier to turn a vehicle over because it wouldn't just understeer and plow on.
Yeah.
A bias ply tire would fold under.
Oh, that's a good point.
That was a fairly small factor, but it was still a factor.
Was it Patton that said that that he felt like that the Jeep won the war?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
It was the workhorse that won the war. You look at the...
Whoop, yellow.
They used it for
My Uncle
everything.
Alan's the guy that drove him to the hospital.
They developed amphibious versions.
When he died? That was my uncle. Huh?
They developed amphibious versions of the Willys. A lot of them were actually engineered in field by the soldiers and worked better than what the engineers back home tried to come up with.
Bouncing guard.
But you
definitely
had
need
these
to do
things
bump
hauling
stocks.
howitzers, and you had them patrolling supply lines. What was that supply line? That once they invaded Normandy, they had a supply line running as fast as they could run stuff up. I forget what it was called. It was Red something. But
I didn't even spin a wheel.
They actually started taking...
That was almost disappointing.
Yeah, it was.
I'm listening.
They made a Willys with train wheels and had it hauling cargo. Because you could just, once you got it going, it used so little fuel compared to the other trucks that you could just hit a train rail, a train line,
Really?
and just follow it.
Really what?
You.
Fun stuff. It's a big one.
And again. Oh, there it goes. There went some wheel spin.
Woo!
Wow.
I think I'm gonna put pillows in my back seat.
Why?
So when people knock their head on the side of the wall, they'll be comfortable.
You do bounce around a lot more back there.
Oh, hell yes you do.
Yeah.
Like the
You sit up higher.
Yo shit handles do nothing for your head.
I'm actually using my arm as a stabilizer strut on the shit bar.
I would have thrown up my car.
In the back.
Yeah, you would have thrown up.
Yeah, seriously, you
Hours
bounce
ago.
around a lot more back there. I didn't realize it
It's-
until I rode with Steve.
I get on a Ferris wheel and I'm going, Sour burp.
That's one thing I like about the Blazer. You sit so low down in it.
Oh, I wish you'd get a Mini Cooper and jack it up.
I've seen one. There's a guy in Fairview that used to have one.
They make a
It
rally
was
version
lifted
of
about an inch and a half on BF Goodrich all-terrains. Had a roof basket with a spare tire in it, a high lift, and a shovel. I'm not sure what the fuck he was going to use the high lift for, but...
I mean, you don't have four-wheel drive, but...
No, they make all-wheel drive versions. It's not quite the same, but it's still pretty cool. And there's actually a big community of, they call them battle wagons, where they take like all-wheel drive, like Subarus and stuff.
Yeah.
And they jack them up and armor them up a little bit, and they come do stuff like this.
I love when they use for a front skid plate, they use a stop sign.
Yeah.
Or like a
Ooh,
children
that's a
crossing.
good idea.
Yeah, or like children crossing sign. Oh, I love that. Awesome. It's not very thick, but
If you hear banjo music,
It's unlikely. This trail is pretty heavily traveled.
wow! Because we're completely surrounded.
it's kind of been like that.
It really goes down.
It does. They put a lot of water breaks in here for erosion.
Come on.
Well,
Just guessing.
Huh?
Put a lot of water breaks in here for the erosion and for the water.
Water. Bouncy.
One thing I just thought of as well, just going back to a much earlier conversation with Land Rover versus Rubicon. You have to remember, Rubicons, they're good in snow, but on ice, they're terrible.
Everything is, though, isn't it?
It's great as my
well, they
engine
wouldn't
truck.
be so bad if more people would run ATs on them instead of just MTs. MTs are just bad on ice.
They come with them, but also with Land Rovers, traction control is superior on ice.
Yeah.
A locker, you will induce understeer like you wouldn't believe.
Actually, if I put mine in sand, I don't care what it is, I'm moving.
Yeah.
I tried. When we had that last major storm, we had ice, then we got like 3 more days of snow, then we had ice again. I literally, it was literally about, I don't know, maybe 12, 13 inches high. And I was in reverse. I put it in reverse and floored it and turned the tires trying to get it to spin. It wouldn't, I mean, it's just...
It would not let you. If you dig in sand, you're done.
Donuts.
Yeah, you actually braking traction in sand, you actually end up digging yourself down and then you're kind of fucked.
Yeah, and it's not like with mud where it takes a second or two. It's like
It's almost
2
instant.
rotations of your tire can sink you.
You made a sandcastle with your truck.
So when they were doing the advertisements of the LR2 doing all that shit in the sand, that was a big deal.
Yeah. Depending upon the kind of sand. Some sand is no big deal. Other sand is like, oh my god, you're not going to make it through this.
Yeah, when you get onto dunes and you get onto the really tall, loose, shifting sands,
Oh yeah.
oh, that's actually scary.
Which, the new Range Rover Sport,
Yeah.
crossed the empty quarter, that part of desert in the Middle East. That's a piece of a tree. It crossed it solo in 10 hours, which had never been done before. That's a world record
Hours.
in a bone stock Range Rover Sport.
So, you know what the Indians were doing? They were giving their finger to the Middle Easterners going, we're not going to be your slaves no more.
Yeah. Fuck you, motherfucker.
Fuck doing it, somebody.
Shiva's gonna bitch slap Mohammed.
What the fuck?
That was my tire catching on the door. It's so heavily loaded, I actually do need to invest in bump stops.
Yep.
I had never actually had that happen before, but I've never done any kind of off-roading with a full load of passengers, adult
Oh, yeah.
passengers.
I'm not an adult.
Oh, hi.
Bumpy Rock.
Rocks.
But that's really what it comes down to is you buy a Land Rover, you're buying something engineered to get you through every situation. Whether it be
Need
wet
more
leaves
flashlight?
on the
No, I got
ground, or snow, or ice, or sand, or rocks. That's why people know it's the best 4x4.
I just make the sound effects in the car.
What?
That's all I do. Make the sound effects.
So that looks really kind of impressive from right here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Get out and go look at it from the other side.
I can't! I'm backwards. I can't read shit.
You fucking slug.
I was really expecting a major drop.
It's nothing.
Yeah, we've crossed the hardest part.
Again, roof light help with that immensely.
Yeah. It's not even worth dealing with.
Roofies?
Roofie.
Blows up everything.
Oh my. Oh, I know where we are now.
But your LR3 is just as comfortable crossing the desert, or driving around in Alaska, or taking the family camping, or taking the family on a cross interstate vacation.
Oh,
Or
those
taking
things-
your polo pony to the field.
Hello.
And
I
that's-
think the threes have gotten past the super status symbol.
Yeah, they have.
I think they're just considered trucks now.
They are, pretty much.
I mean, even the Range Rover Sport that I had has kind of lost its luster.
Yeah. Well, now with the new models out, yeah. The 4s are still status symbols. The new body style Range Rovers are status symbols, but anything after that, really.
And that makes me happy, because,
Now they can just be vehicles.
yeah, I did not like the attention I got with the Range Rover. You remember that when I had it.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it. And nothing drives me more insane than have some superficial fake chick come up to you. I love your car. Can I
Hello,
sit
you
in it?"
Jeep.
This is where we stopped earlier.
I've never gotten that.
Well, you just not look like a Jeep at all.
I've had girls.
No, actually, I've gotten tons of people saying, "I love your Jeep." At that, it's like, I'll take it. I like it. I don't give a shit.
I had the Range Rover. When I had the Range Rover, I literally would have girls, even when Jasmine was with me, come up and just sit there and start talking.
Like, excuse me, you see this lady beside me? Yeah, she has bigger boobs than you.
My Rover attracts things. People just leave stuff on my car.
And they're not saggy boobs. They defy gravity. I told Jasmine, I said, at the point that your boobs give up this natural hold me up, we're getting them changed. Holy shit!
I got high centered here once.
I think I did too. Did I
Yeah.
come on this one with the Blazer?
Yep.
Yeah, but when I got high
It was not quite as washed out as it is now, but yeah.
No, but I still
what
got. I caught every single one of these
Jeep.
with my frame.
What do you do, just make yourself rock so you can go forward and keep on?
you, Duffer.
No, I just backed up and went faster.
That rock right there coming down off this ledge is kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, did we do a pose over here somewhere? Give me one more up.
Roll.
Oh, wow. No.
And the only reason I don't get a Range Rover is, like a disc, I can't drive a disco properly. It is painful for me.
What are these little cross
Yellow.
things?
Huh?
What are we doing? Little loopy loops on to.
Bump.
Switchbacks.
A
Yeah,
bag.
these are water brakes.
That's a stump. Looks like a
Wow!
There's a tree
That's
there.
a tree. Hi, tree. Hi. It's Sean. Don't
Look
hit
at
me.
the nature.
We're going down. Wow, woo!
The Disco 5.
D5.
Yeah, that comes out next year, 2016, 2017, whatever.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Will have a new technology that is a see-through hood. So when you're off-road and you go...
Oh, the LED,
Yeah.
the LED display.
Yeah.
That's not a great place for that big fucking rock.
Heads-up display.
It's an LED camera display that lets you see like it's invisible.
Yeah.
Checks on you. Yeah, this is the rock we posed on. I remember.
I'm waiting for someone to come out with a drone.
Shotgun.
Someone that has a drone that'll just remotely follow the car.
Yeah, they did
I was
that.
talking about that.
They make systems for that for BMX riders.
Oh, I don't know.
He said that like Bill Cosby. Judicial system.
Can you make it?
I was actually talking to Chris. It would be awesome to, if I ever just got
Yeah,
out
you
of
got it.
wanting to wheel myself.
You want a vanity shot? I'll get out and take one.
Nah.
Good dog.
In the night?
Oh.
Oh! Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So, was that your axle?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So close.
I was talking to him about, it'd be awesome to have a drone that had like magnetic feet and have it come off and take off and land on a little helipad
There's a truck coming.
Oh!
on the roof rack.
We got two coming.
Yeah, I just want to, like, slow down.
Thanks for the bright lights, you dickhead. Samurai Kojak. Look at his tires. They're wobbling all over the place. That was a girl.
Oh. Hi, Tyler. We'll meet again.
Yeah, you have your guard on the rear, right?
What?
You have your guard on the rear, right?
Guard on the rear?
Just guard.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember last time it fell
What do you
off.
have for the transmission?
Nothing.
So
The transmission sticks up. It sits up between the frame rails. So I'd have to work really hard to shove a rock through it.
Larry Rich.
Oh, I'm bouncing.
It's doable. I'm sure I could do it, but I'd have to try.
Yep, there's my poor mud hole. My favorite part!
Yeah, there used to be a big mud hole here that was a lot of fun to play in, but obviously it's not there anymore.
Honestly, the stuff we've gone over, it's all segmented. You know, it's not all at once. It's a little bit here, a little bit there. But still, some of the things we've done, I didn't think these things would.
Yeah.
And with what you're giving me for feedback, it sounds like it's about as good as it gets until you start spending just stupid money for special upgrades.
Yeah. For the money, you can't beat, in terms of off-road ability, for the money, you can't beat a D2 with mild mods. Because you can get into a D2 cheaper than you can get into like a TJ. And a TJ stock and a D2 stock, they're fairly equal. And then you put a mild lift on the D2, and I think it'll leave a stock TJ because the D2 has traction control.
You're looking at $6 grand for a 3, though. I mean, they're still
I
10.
haven't seen one that cheap.
They start on eBay at 6.
And no, we are not going through that
No.
That's right.
unless we accidentally slide into it, and that would suck.
I'll step on Jeppy's head to get out. Yeah, I mean, with high miles, you can get them $7,500.
Yeah, I've seen them $775. That's about the cheapest I've seen.
But
legitimately seen
all
one.
auctions are going for $6 grand. starting at $6,000. And, you know, if you're looking at that, that means probably another year you're going to probably buy them for that. I don't think they're going to go much below 6. Ever.
I know somebody right now selling a full-size Range Rover 03 for $75.
I would even consider that. I'd like to have a full size. I'm getting another truck. I know that's true. If I take the teaching job, then it'll change what I choose. If I go to Tool and Die, then I've already told you, I want to get a blacked out sport special.
Yeah.
But if the money was there, I mean, if I'm having to work for the next 10 years, 80-hour work weeks,
Yeah.
I'm getting a Defender. Is that your diffs making that wine? It's a different sound.
I think it's the transfer case, because I'm in low range.
Oh yeah, when I was in long range speeding, I sounded like a diesel again. Kind of strange.
Yeah, the gear reduction is.
Oh no, not the wine.
What?
When I was at low range and I hit the gas really hard, or go fast, it
Yeah.
sounded like a diesel.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I was doing that. Kind of weird.
Riddle me this. When I first start up my car, first 5 miles or so, she rides rough.
Rides rough?
Yeah. I feel it in the steering.
Huh.
I can't decide if it's tires just from sitting, but it shouldn't really change that much to make it that rough every day. Or if it's transmission. All the bushings seem to be fine and intact.
It doesn't make any sense why it would ride differently just when it's cold.
Yeah, first 5 miles or so, and
It's
after that,
not-
it's fine.
It's running the same, right?
Yeah,
It's just riding rougher.
yeah.
It's not an air suspension, right? Or is it?
I have air suspension.
I mean, are you making sure that it's where it wants to be before you take off?
Yeah. Usually I let it warm up for about a minute. That's more than long enough because I can't really start the car and get it
So
moving.
that's what this looks like from this side.
Oh, shit.
Remember this now?
I should have gotten a
Here
picture.
we go!
You should stop halfway and take a picture.
Coming up that is fun.
Especially really, really fast. Wasn't there a bridge here? Oh no. Yeah, there's a little river. We had a bunch here. Remember that? Lift.
Sure, I can hold myself steady. Sure you can. I got one absolutely clear photo this entire time. Wow!
Good luck with that.
That rock right there that we just went off of,
Yeah.
that's the one that knocked my rear diff off.
Oh,
Rear diff guard
yeah.
off.
That was funny.
After I got it. I welded it on and thought I did a great job, and turns out I did a shitty job. And I slid off that rock. My tire slid off, and the rear diff guard dropped onto the point of that rock, and it just popped it right off.
That was funny.
I heard a clang, and I went, what the fuck was that? And I get out, I stop and get out, and I look, I'm like, oh shit! That wasn't supposed to happen.
Ding.
So then I cleaned it all up, and I had David weld it back on, and it's never coming off.
Is he a good welder?
Yeah, he's good at it. Even with my shitty welder, he's good at it.
Does he do aluminum?
Not yet. He actually just bought a TIG welder, a square wave TIG welder that is capable of doing aluminum. He's just never welded aluminum, so he wants to practice on it before he starts charging people to do it. So I'm gonna let him build shit for me. Let him.
Yep.
I'm
It's
doing
nice
him
of
a
you to
favor.
let him. Yeah, I didn't miss that. Do you want to stop and get one of those logs for the fire?
We can't.
I know.
dash cam video turns out well.
Drone, 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 drone. Whoa.
We're looking sideways.
Whoa.
Oh, shit.
Poor Steve.
Oh,
Never they got Harold's disco squared away.
Did he say that when you were driving, Justin?
yes.
Yeah.
And my four-wheel drifter.
I can't even turn off my traction control, can I?
No.
I think I could in the Ranger. I had a button on the left-hand side you could push to turn it off.
Oh. Well, actually, depending on what mode you're in, it turns it off for you. But you still would have. Well, actually, I don't know if that's not new enough to have force stability management yet.
Oh, look at us.
Range Rover was an 08. This is an 05.
Yeah.
Well, there's a mode that turns engine dampening off but keeps the brakes functional. So for like mud and such, it can still dig, but it tries to keep the wheels from just open.
That heavy rain we had a month ago,
Mm-hmm.
I was driving to South Carolina, and I mean it was coming down. I was on Mount Pisgah, and you could feel the traction control taking over.
Yeah.
And I mean it was obvious. You felt the car actually pull with the tire.
Yeah.
And I've never experienced that. Even when I was in the snow and ice, I didn't feel it. That was a nightmarish trip. It took me 5 hours to get down there.
Jesus.
I almost hit someone, what was it, Highway 52? Just past the back cave exit.
Oh, 25.
25. Just when you start the downhill, you know, when you got it becomes a truly divided highway.
Yeah.
And you got the downhill descent.
Yeah.
Came around the curve. I was doing 65.
Maho.
And I came around the curve, and a guy, it looked like Ford Fiesta, I don't know, had lost control.
Fiesta.
Hit the railing on the left and was facing me. I almost hit the guy because he'd gotten out of his car.
Uh-huh.
And as I came around the corner, I didn't see him until the last second. And he had to run across the highway
Oh, wow.
because I almost hit him. Am I a